rushing you.
Sure, bitch.
I'm just saying, man. Just double checking, man.
You ain't had your ass
time,
beat in a long time.
Time is money, man. Time is money. Time management. Time is money, man. So I was just making sure.
Time is money. Money
running
is
this.
time. Yeah.
I know I was a little late, so I'm trying to make sure. I'm rushing you as I'm late.
I'm like, I was already halfway
I'm
on
rushing
my way.
you
And I'm
as
like,
I'm late. That's funny.
I was looking at it, I was like, all right, let me cruise a little bit since I'm waiting for my man. So, you know, that's what it is.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. What is going on? Howdy, neighbors. Howdy, neighbors.
What's good? What's
good?
good?
How we going to roll that out? Is it going to be my fellow neighbors? How we going to do that?
I said, what's going on, my fellow neighbors?
My fellow neighbors.
Because we're all neighbors in the community.
My fellow neighbors, episode 2. Episode 2.
Episode 2,
dude. This is crazy. Man, speaking about time, man, I wanted to show you this.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to definitely show you this. Speaking on time. This is Dame schooling, which you already seen it.
Yes.
But I got to hear this again, though. I'm sorry. Because when I heard this, I felt the same way you felt, yo.
Right.
And it's, yo, you know what also, before I even play this, and some of the stuff he was saying, I be talking that shit. And don't even be walking it.
We all do. We all say things.
Because some of the stuff he say, I tell you.
Right. You right. Yeah, you right. But it's funny because I've learned from my mentor being from Harlem. It seems like they have a certain thing about how they move and how they talk in its due diligence. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Milt Waters. You know what I'm saying? It's how they talk and the way they grind. Their grind is different. I know the grind is different everywhere. But, you know, I think you can probably say the same thing for this. When we all seen Paid in Full, if you didn't know, that kind of like gave you somewhat of a background of how Harlem is. But actually meeting somebody from Harlem and actually who adapts to that, and it's not just one person, it's multiple people. You absorb it a lot different, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because in the back of my head, the more and more I listen to Dame after the what do you call that? Post Jay-Z after.
Right.
That's after, right?
We're going after.
So
but it's always been Dame.
Yes, but listening to him post after Jay-Z, like post Jay-Z, in the beginning I didn't understand, but then I was like, it's a reason why Beanie Siegel went over with Dame and not Hove. You know what I mean? Because when they did that split, remember, Beanie went over with Dame when he had the I forgot what that label was called. Dame Dash Music Group or something like that, I think it was, or Dash Music Group or something.
Dash Music Group.
That's when Hov took Rockefeller.
I think I know the one. If it's the same one, I know the one that he had with Currency was Creative Control.
No, not that one. This is when they both broke up and split Rockefeller in half.
Right.
And half went with Hov and half went with Dame.
Yes.
But actually, it wasn't even half. Really, it was like almost like 70-30, 80-20 in a sense. Like 20% went over to Dame. The rest went over to Rockefeller.
Right.
With Def Jam, when he was with Def Jam. But the more and more I listened to Dame, where I was getting at, the more and more I listened to Dame, moving forward from the beginning till now, it's, yo, you was really the center. You was really the mastermind.
And I also believe that the more in your life you start to progress and you put yourself in certain situations of becoming something more than what you are, a lot of that stuff starts to seep in a lot more because it reflects what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Even though you could still do that same thing in your everyday life, but when you're into a business, it really solidifies the foundation of the kind of person that and how you want to act and how you want to move.
I'll tell you, thinking about Hov right now, in that light, as far as you come from Brooklyn, you have a hustle mentality. It's cool. But I think what Dame did with that was enhance it times 1,000. You want to sell a key a month? Dude, if you did it this way, you could sell a key a week. Why you want to just sell a key a month? Yo, I went from an ounce a month to a key a month. Dame like, so make it a key a week. And then make that a key a day. Like, you thinking too small. I feel like I never
looked at it, and I
feel like
I don't know that aspect.
Yo, I feel like that man. I don't know either, but I feel like he enhanced that man's level of hustle to the point where Jay-Z got so enhanced and so skilled at what he did from looking at Dame. He jumped over Dame. It was, you know what I'm saying? It's like Dame got. It just seemed like something blocked Dame. I feel like Dame was borderline being blackballed, anyways.
Right.
So because he was borderline being blackballed, it was only so far you can go. And then with Hove knowing certain things, Hove kind of said, "You know what? I'm about to jump over you, and then keep this pushing." And then ran with it.
I think it's more of the fact that I'm not willing to jeopardize my character for others.
Or is it, I can see I'm a lot, I can go, or is it where, like I was just saying, Hove was on a mentality, I can move a key a month, Dane was move a key a week. Can it be moving further as our careers started getting better and better and greater? Can we say it went vice versa? It went in reverse mode?
I think it's more.
I think Dame started to become stagnant at certain things. And
I think it's more of an ego thing.
True.
And I think
his ego got in the way.
And no, it's ego in both of them, because when you look at both of these people and their character and the progression that they have both been moving in, I don't see that as being something that's going to continue, because in all human stability, someone's going to want to go off the beaten path of whatever sense. You might have your connects, and I got my connects. But if my connects deal with me a lot more because they don't like how you move, they're going to deal with me a lot more.
True.
And because they're going to deal with me a lot more because they're not sure of what you're capable of doing in a sense of your character, they're going to kind of shy away from you. And when you're doing things in the entertainment business and in the conglomerate of the whole industry, we can call it being blackballed, but at the most part, it seems like when you do those things, a lot of people are shy away a lot more from you.
I can see that, because I can feel like 50 was the same way. I feel like 50 and Dame is like masterminds of business when it comes to the music game.
It's not even about music.
I mean, it started for them too, though. It showed from the music. Like, you heard their backstory. They was always hustlers, Queens, Harlem. But then when they got in the music game, it actually showed what they was about way before the music game. You know what I'm saying? Like, it showed like, yo, these boys was about business. They was about order. They had a passion for something, and they wanted it, and they got it. And it wasn't nothing that was going to stop them except for themselves.
Now, when you say things like that, we have to understand. You can go to books like 48 Laws of Power, and you can go through the knowledge and self-worth and books like those. You can have a hustler's mentality, but you also have to understand that you have to kind of play the game to a certain extent. Because we can mention people like 50 and we can mention people like Dan, but we also have to remember there are people like Master P. There are people like Jay Prince, the legendary Jay Prince, who are continuing in their goal of not only standing by who they are, but to also use who they are in the entertainment industry, but still have a business mindset have a mindset of growth and progression. Because those guys, a lot of young guys, unless you know who they are, what Master P came from, what Jay Prince came from, they see what we see now. They don't know the origin or the backstory of how they grinded and how they had to persevere and to get into the position that they are in. And those kind of guys are the foundation of being your own boss and being self-sufficient in creating a brand that's solidified for years to come. And I think that plays a major key.
You're right. You're right. Because I ain't really think about them two.
You have to, because those guys that are
and you know what's crazy?
Those guys are the foundation. I mean, and I have to one up it one more. People like Luke Campbell. People always think of Luke as being just a booty shaker music guy and everything. Luke is a very, very influential part of not only the entertainment industry, but to creating your brand and sticking by that brand and solidifying it to a certain extent. So when Luke stopped doing the booty shaking thing, and I remember watching the video and he was talking about, yo, I'm trying to do football with the youngins and things like that. The first thing they could think about was, yo, you Uncle Luke. It's so much more. And Luke had what was called Skywalker Records.
Yeah,
that's big.
That's crazy. But so let's play this real fast.
All right.
Because especially, I felt like when we talked and this was the topic that we wanted to touch on today, and then I came across this today, I was like, yo, ain't that perfect timing?
Yo.
That was...
And it must have been something, because I told you I seen the same thing. I seen it on Friday. When did you see it?
Just this morning.
See?
Yeah. How could you see it Friday? I thought it was Friday the 1st. This said the 2nd.
No, I watched it on Friday.
You know what? Because I'm watching it on the site that I'm watching it on that probably posted today. But it okay, gotcha. Yeah. Because I seen this and was like...
It makes sense. What's stopping you?
It's no different from me when I be trying to tell people with the phone thing. What's stopping us? Nothing is stopping us. No camera. You don't need angles. We don't need everything.
Everything else.
It comes as we...
It'll come as you start to progress.
Brother was like, yo, let's get some backlights. I was like, okay. I said, we working on that. I said each week something different is...
Each day that we do this is a progression of learning what we need to do for ourselves and setting a foundation.
And most people don't dream. So let me ask you a question, both of y'all. What's your dream?
I'm living it.
But what is it, though?
To be successful.
That's an emotion.
How explain
specifically?
That to me.
So my dream is to have my own television network, my own football teams, my own sports teams, to have a family, to live a certain way, to have properties all over the world.
So you can say dreams change. Your dreams change.
Of course they do.
Yeah.
I mean, when your dreams, the death of a dream is the best funeral. That means it became a reality. And then it's time to have another one. So you've made your dreams come true, but what's your dreams right now?
My dreams right now is to be an actor. That's my dream.
You're dreaming to be an actor?
Yep.
You can be an actor. You got to dream bigger. Give me a bigger dream. You're a professional.
I'll be making up something that I'm not in that space.
I want you to dream. I'm going to ask you this question when you come on to my studio.
Yeah.
Okay. But you have to dream big enough so that you're not the only one that's affected. You have to be selfish about it, though. You can't help nobody unless you can help yourself. And the people that you want to help are the people you love, your family.
See, that's what I'm saying. But what if you're in a position where, like I'm saying, when you ask me that question, I'm looking at like, well, shit, I'm living my dream because I've done what I set out to do to change lives.
You did it already. It's dead.
Right.
That dream's over.
Right.
Next dream.
Right.
It died already.
Because you've accomplished it.
Right.
It's an angel. It's in the wind. You don't want to be the guy talking about, like, some people's dream in high school was to, like, win the chip. And
they
never
still talk about that shit to the day. Yeah. To this day. Every day comes. Well, I remember 95.
So, my approach on this dream would be, number one, to be the best actor in the world, not just to be an actor. But you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cameras right there. You have sound and a location. What's stopping you from acting? Somebody employing you?
Nope.
So then what's stopping you from making that dream come true today? Who's asking?
I just know.
I just wanted to answer that question.
What question? What's stopping me?
If you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cameras
Right.
and mics
Right.
and a location, what's stopping you from acting?
I know it's more than just me acting to it.
Right. There's 6 cameras.
Writers, is all kind of stuff.
You don't need writers to act. Mostly everything I've ever done, I don't even fucking have a script. I didn't even do Honor Up with a script. So you're making reasons not to do it.
No, I wouldn't.
So again, what's stopping you?
I don't know.
Nothing's stopping you.
Really, well, I mean,
there's nothing stopping you.
I'm just trying to get.
You just said I don't know. That means there's nothing. So do it.
But at the same time, you're saying that, but
Yeah.
it's not that simple.
You want me to show you how simple it is? Watch.
This is good.
I need you to have an argument with him, but don't mean it, about a girl. Action.
Why the fuck you didn't tell me you called her? She told me you called her. You told me you was cool. You weren't gonna fuck with her. I told you I like her. I told you I was taking her out, and you still called her. I thought we was better than that.
She do that little thing to me, you know.
Well, you should have told me that, bro. I told you not to call her. I told you I was gonna really try to be with her, and you still called her. Like what? That's the type of nigga you is?
Cut. We have our first scene for the Old Smoke TV show.
That was fun.
So what was hard about that? Boy, now your dream just came true. Next dream. You just acted. That's simple.
That's the low level of acting.
You did a good job, though.
That was fucked up that you did that to yourself. Why did you do that?
Because because I
Let
see
me
where I
do me
want
a
to be.
favor. Listen, in my perspective, give me the best case scenario of what you just did.
The best case scenario?
Yeah, and only think about that.
That what I just did is in a movie theater?
So why can't it be?
Because it won't be beneficial.
See, I just said your dream fucked up, bro. None of those, that's the last thing you think about is the worst thing, bro. The first thing you think about is the best thing. And then, so your visualization just now was it won't be successful. That's what you just visualized. You just fucked your dream up. Now, if you're only visualizing this shit in a movie, you just said it's in a movie, then that's what you should have seen. And then you make it happen. Now, question, how the fuck could that be in a movie? Well, I could just shoot 60 more minutes of scenes. And now I could go rent a theater and show it. How could it be beneficial? Well, I just showcased that I can act. And it could be good. Actually, in my dream, it is so good that now it's a hit out of left field. You visualizing that?
I'm visualizing.
Now, why it can't happen?
Because a lot of things got to go
There he goes again.
I'm being realistic, though.
You're not. Your realism is the worst. That's not realistic.
No. I understand things don't always go your way.
Okay, now, what if, let me think about this.
Is that not true?
You're wrong. It always goes the right way. It always goes the right way. I never fucking lose. If you're playing in the NBA and you lose the game, you still won because you're in the NBA. Now, now think about this. Some kid says, you say to him, what do you want to do? What's your dream? I want to be a basketball player. He goes, well, shit, I can't be a basketball player. I got to have this and that. You'd be like, get the fuck out of here. All you got to do is be good. Like, right?
Yep.
You have to, the way you attack your dream is the way you have to attack the dreams that make you uncomfortable just because you don't know how to do it. You knew you was going to be a basketball player because you know your skills. You're not confident in your skills, but you got to be confident in your skills. Just now what I saw is you do have enough confidence to be an actor. And why wouldn't you turn this into a scripted show as well as like The Office or something? You got everything you need. The amount of time it takes for you to set this shit up, you could be doing scripted. Trust me. You got a lot of people on here. Who's the DP? Is there a DP or are you just setting up cameras? Y'all know about cameras? What kind of lenses are these?
Sony G Masters across the board.
Can you put movie lenses on there, like Zeiss lenses? I got Zeiss lenses. I'll let you hold some lenses, and I got cameras. Can anybody here a writer? Can you just write a script? This is the location. It's about 2 ex-basketball players that argue over girls. Can you do that? Yeah. What the fuck's the problem? You guys know Showtime right now. I mean, make your dreams come true. I wish I had these variables. I mean, I do, but I don't have Showtime. Pass the plug.
We talked about this already.
And you still haven't passed it.
Because it's our first time talking.
That was like
our first time talking.
That's our third time talking.
I feel that.
So when I first watched that, I said, that's me. And when I say that's me, this whole video was me. I was Dame Dash and I was Steven Jackson. I was both parties. I double dip. I played both sides of this fence. And when I watched this, I made that decision to say I want to play Dame's side. And I don't want to play his game. I want to play the side that he was talking about on this video. Because I already talk about it and I teeter-totter with playing with it. But like you just said, you your own worst enemy at anything you want to do.
You have to do it because you have to understand that idle time is wasted time.
This is our 3rd week attempting to do this.
Right.
It's not even attempting. This is our 3rd week actually doing it. 3rd week. Okay, not straight because I went and did my vacation the 1 week after.
Right.
But outside of that, 3 weeks consistently of doing this. And from that point, I realized this. I'm already being a Dame. Like I just did a whole 40-minute drive in 30 minutes, 25, 30 minutes, just to hurry up and get back to do this because this is my priority now.
Yes.
This has probably been the most consistent I've been with videoing in the last 2 years of studying and doing this. This has probably been the most consistent of videoing.
Right.
When I heard both of these dudes and I said, I'm Dame when it comes to the podcast. When it comes to the other stuff that I'll talk about what I want to do with my family and stuff, I'm Steven Jackson. All my sisters ain't calling. My peoples ain't, my nephews ain't hitting me up. Everybody don't seem engaged in what I want.
What you're trying to do.
It's what I want. It's not what they want. It's what I want. Why am I putting what I want on them? That's for me to put on me.
Because you have a focus of doing. You see something that you want to do and you want to incorporate others into what you do. And in the essence of you trying to incorporate them in what you want to do, their schedule won't match up with your schedule. Their drive doesn't match up with your drive.
But you know what? What was the segment today? We said time.
Time.
How much time you gonna waste waiting? How much time you gonna waste trying to perfect? How much time you gonna waste trying? We did this for 3 weeks straight.
Right.
We talked about it for over 3 months. You see what I'm saying? We talked about doing this for well over 3 months. And this just was talk. Trying to, we need this, we need that. Maybe we should push it back to, we say we'll do it this week. Something happened, which, okay, that's cool. But then because something happened this week, we push it back a month from today. Not, let's do it next week. Let's try and do it in a couple days. Just to get something out.
Even though you want to do something there are certain implications and certain things that happen that will deter you from getting those things done, no matter how much you want to get it done. So with that being said, no matter how much you prioritize and want to get it taken care of, there are certain things, natural causes, that still happen that maybe happen for a purpose.
But that week, that moment,
Why do we have to?
So why do we have to push it back? And this is just an example. Something happened today.
Okay.
Something would have happened today.
Right.
I pushed it back for an hour.
Okay.
I didn't push it back for tomorrow or the next day or the next week. You see what I'm saying? I still was determined to make this happen today.
You make things a priority that you actually care about.
True.
And when you make things a priority that you care about, your drive to get it done and taken care of is totally different.
But we also can't make excuses for the slightest hiccup.
Excuses are easy because your excuses are determined for doing what you want to do.
A lot of times, though, we do that a lot of times. One hiccup will make the craziest excuse for the smallest hiccup. It's a hiccup. Yo, imagine the video didn't get recorded. Our first episode didn't get recorded at all. Imagine if we said, yo, let's wait until we get actual cameras. How long would that have been? This is the third week now, right? I told you, we still ain't got professional cameras. So imagine us imagine us saying that. You know what I mean? And that's why I say with this particular situation, the podcast, we're Dame. I'm a Dame in this moment. I didn't let that stop me. I'm not letting it stop me. I'm going to keep this shit pushing.
Okay.
Now, on the flip side, when I'm sitting here talking about family channels and stuff, I'm a Steven Jackson. Well, my sisters and them got to be incorporated. They got to be somehow engaged in order for it to work. No, it don't. Your mission is to show you're a good uncle. Your mission is to show you're a great brother. Your mission is to show that no matter what happens, you're a family man, and the decisions you make are based upon these people. You know what I'm saying? So it shouldn't be for them a right or a wrong way of doing it. It should be your way, do it, and that's it. You don't need to wait for them to be perfect to do something.
No, you don't. But we're already starting a foundation.
And then you don't need to be perfect to even start to do something.
If you want to do something, you know when you want to do it. We already basically got a foundation because we basically established a routine of what we want to do, which is basically we said this is the time we want to do it, and this is how we're going to do it. So in that aspect, we already have that part done. As you can see, we're here at a certain time. Even if it's not the right time, we're here at a certain time. In the sense of being in the position that we want to be. So that's small steps. And that small step is basically how you continue to build upon. And after we start to build, then everything will come after that. Because if you're just trying to wing it, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you ready? Hey, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. All right, bet. Hour passed, 2 hours passed. Everything is starting to now, things are getting later and later. And in the essence of it getting later, now you have to adjust what you wanted to do before and getting everything in the presence of how you wanted it to be. Yo, meet me at 4 o'clock. All right, bet. You know, the sun is out. You got light, yada, yada, etc. Yo, I'm busy. Yo, wait, give me a second. All right, yo, we're going to do it a little later. A little later, turn to 10 o'clock. So now what do you have to do? Now you have to adjust to the timing and the scheduling of that situation happening. Now you got to work around that. So the essence of us basically already creating a routine of what we want to do should solidify that we are in a position of creating something that will basically work not only in our favor, but it still also give us enough time to do whatever we have to do later on or afterwards, whatever the situation may be, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah. But I watched that and I said, get off your ass.
Why does it always
Stop.
have to take somebody
And
to
stop
tell us to get
making
off our
it-
ass instead of us doing it
and
ourselves?
and stop making the excuse. Now, here's the thing with that question you asked. I already had made the decision of getting off my ass.
Right.
It solidified my choice of doing so. It made me feel, it cemented my decision on I made the right decision.
Right.
So we talked about this the other day. It pretty much almost actually we talked about this the last podcast with Alexa. It's like having Alexa sitting there justifying your actions. And as long as she's saying it, you did right, Andre. And it's like, thank you, Alexa. I feel better about that.
Right.
It's the same. It's I guess it's the same way. Why we do it?
We try to fit everything in one, and in the essence of us trying to fit everything in one basket, it's very hard. We have to learn to urge the task, to multitask, and some of us can do it. Some of us can be able to bounce and piggyback, but for the most part, if that's not the kind of person that you are, you have to understand what you are willing to accept and willing to handle.
True.
Yeah. So once we are able to understand that, if you never multitasked before and was able to, pinball and ping, and you try to fit it, and that's not who you are, you might need to stop doing that because that's not you. Yo, it sucks, but sometimes you have to learn to say no. And learning to say no actually has been one of the best decisions that I've ever made.
I'm still learning.
Once I learned to stop saying no and being able to take care of a certain situation or a mindset,
You're right.
everything started to totally change.
But I'll tell you one thing. Next time you say, yo, not this week, let's do it a month from here, I'm gonna say no.
You have to.
We doing it next week.
Because you have
We're
to
gonna
understand.
do it this week, but
Yo,
we're doing it next week.
When you, but you have to say.
You tell me 3 weeks, I'll be like, yo, F you, dude. We doing it next week, dude.
But you have to say no.
Unless you out of town.
Right. But you also have to say no to protect your peace as well.
So you gonna tell me no after I tell you, all right, we won't do it today, but we gonna do it next week.
When I
and
say
you gonna be like, nah, bro.
No, when I say
we need to
when I
do it
say
3
protect your
weeks.
peace, I'm saying it in the sense of things that you normally say yes to that people are knowing that you're going to say yes to.
You have to start normalizing saying no.
You have to normalize saying no. Because if I know that you're a yes man and I know you're willing to jump through loops and hoops to get things taken care of, for some people it's like, I gotta help people. I gotta help people. But at the same time, you have to help yourself.
True.
And when you don't understand yourself and understand your value, and you start jumping through loops for everybody else, they don't respect that because you don't respect you. Because you're not taking the time that you need to take care of yourself. Because you are a person that has your own things going on. And when you start to realize, yo, I got to get this taken care of. I got to get this taken care of. Hold on, wait a minute. Somebody want me to do something. Let me stop what I'm doing and take care of them. Certain times you want to be like, all right, bet, depending on the situation. But when they know they can just call you and ask you for anything and you jump up and do it, it's going to continue happening. And then once that ball starts to rolling and things aren't going the way they're supposed to, now you got the boo-boo, the fool face on like, man, I can't get this done. Oh, but I helped somebody do something else. So now I got to fall back on taking care of myself.
Yep.
And people will use you to that advantage because they know that you are that person that they can go to and ask for it.
And I've been there and I've done that because I done did some stuff and you sit back and you like, all right, I got it to give. And I swear to God, dude, that moment when it come down to you sit there and think like, I ain't got it.
Why? What you mean you ain't got it? I'm used to you always having it. So when I call you, when I ask you for
No,
it,
this
you
is for
supposed
yourself.
to have it.
This is for yourself, though. You have it for that person, but for yourself.
No. But even if you don't have it for yourself,
That's,
I'm used to you always having it. So when I ask you for it and you say you ain't got it, I look at you different, and that will probably make me stop banging with you to a certain extent. Because wait a minute, that was my go-to. Man, I ain't messing with that
Yeah, I
dude
know
no more.
that too.
And then guess
I know
what you
that
don't
too.
get? You don't get those calls like you used to.
Yep.
Now everything's now you gotta wait till I see you or you pop up on something and I'll be like, yo, what's
stop,
good?
Stop doing that to your friends and your family, yo.
Yo,
just
facts.
because
Ultra facts.
just because they gotta say no to take care of themselves for whatever reason it is, listen. Stop trying to tell yourself that person is in the wrong for not looking out for your wrongdoings.
True.
I'm sorry, yo. Cause I've been on that end where I feel like certain dudes stop messing with me because certain things I stopped doing because it was just you a man, and there's certain things a man or should feel the need to not do for another man.
But
You
it's
know?
also growth. And sometimes your growth isn't the same as
and
others.
I'm down to grow every day, dude. I'm down to grow every damn day. And if you can't
Now
grow
you can grow.
If you can't grow every day,
You can grow, but that don't mean they gonna grow.
well, that's why I'll grow and give the deuces.
You better.
Because I can't do that no more. But yeah, y'all stop treating family like that and friends, man. Just because they say no today, they still can help you tomorrow. The next day, somehow, some way, they still can help you.
You gotta
Period.
you gotta respect that decision. You have to respect that decision,
At
just
that
like you want
moment-
them to respect you.
Imagine a person needing 100,000 for a house. You ask for 100, they end up coming up with the 100,000, but they need somebody need $100. 9 times out of 10, that house has more value to you than that person giving you that $100 because you may lose your home. You may lose your job. You may need a place to stay for a day or so. That $100 you're asking for that person is taking away all those opportunities for your near future. You see what I'm saying, yo?
Makes sense.
So if a person is telling you they don't have it, they don't have it. But it.
No. That means because this is what we have to understand. I have it, but that doesn't mean I have it to give to you.
Yes. I have it for me. I don't have it for you.
Because I'm in a certain situation, just like you are in a certain situation. I'm taking care of things that I'm taking care of, and I'm not able to give it to you.
But like how Dame said, if you're gonna do something on a big scale, and not saying people buy houses for other people, you know what I'm saying?
I know what you mean.
But if you're gonna do something on a big scale, you have to start thinking about other people and stuff like that yourself. And if I'm the type of person that is always looking out for somebody, and I know my home is a savior, I don't know the word to say, but if my home is a savior to you, meaning you may need that place to stay, you may need somewhere to go, your woman may kick you out for a day.
I know that for a fact. Bro, trust me. I know that. I know that.
Yo, I have to tell you no for that $100 because I know this house is going to look out for you in so many other ways that's going to be way more valued than $100.
It just depends on
you gonna have to gonna have to understand why that no is for that no. And if you know I'm trying to get a home and all that stuff,
right,
and you know the type of person you is, take that stuff into consideration.
But once again, no one knows the other person's situation. So when you ask someone for something, you just hear the no. Because you asked them. I didn't ask you what you were going through. I asked you if you had it. And you told me no.
If you friends, you should know somewhat what they're going through. No,
not at all. Because guess what? If you just say no, it's just a no. If I say no, and it's no because I have A, B, C going on, and this is what I have to take care of. Because there are people that want to hear your A, B, and C. They don't just hear the no. Mm-hmm. But once I tell you A, B, and C, now you like this. Oh, he got things going on.
But okay, so where I'm getting at with that is, if I ask you, if I ask you
Right,
for
right.
$20 and you don't have it, and you say, in the back of my head, I have to think of all the reasonings of why this man have kids, this man has a woman, this man has a house to pay for. All those things come before me needing anything. It shouldn't even be a reasoning of if I need it for whatever.
But what is the
reason
percentage? What is the percentage of people that will actually go down that tunnel of breaking down what you just broke down?
And that's why we're here doing this podcast today, to teach those people and to help learn and to show there is other options and other ways of going about. So this is why they're tuning in to learn and to study this. You know what I'm saying? Like,
True.
And there's other people out there that already think like this. Is, yo, if you don't think like this, maybe you should start taking some consideration into thinking like this.
Maybe you should think about.
And
once again, that goes back to just
and
basically
that's
thinking about others.
and that's taking consideration. I'm not telling you to do nothing, but if you just gonna sit there and run with a no and not understand a no, you quick to run with the yes.
How easy is for you to ask for something and say, "Oh yeah, I got you," and you be like, "All right, bet," and then I'll be like, "No." So now that I gave you the no, you're going through all these lists.
Right. Sorry for the difficulties. We are back. We are back. Difficulties. So
best thing about starting your own, you learn from your mistakes.
Listen.
And you correct them.
Because what we just had to go through, oh my God. This is a learning experience.
And I like it because,
as long as you ain't upset about it.
No, far from it.
As long as you ain't upset about it.
No, I should be saying the same thing to you, man.
Nah, I'm good. Yo.
You've been in the process of creating these things. I'm a baby to this.
So I'm used to it. I'm really used to it.
Okay.
It's just correcting and making sure that what you go through last week, you try and fix it before next week, and actually learn something from last week to fix from this week.
Right.
So we learned something from last week.
Yes, sir.
We fixed it this week.
Right.
We just learned something just not too long ago.
Facts.
To fix for next week. Which wasn't really a major issue. It is a major issue, but it's not a major issue.
Right.
So I'm not upset about it.
Cool.
I'm definitely not upset about it. So we got to pick up. Especially while we talk about time. We do not got no more time. We got time.
We have enough time we have enough time in the sense of what we allow ourselves to deal with.
Correct.
So
I don't know if I got time to finish doing what I said I was going to do. That's going to be a hell of a drive.
But you're going to have to make it happen. If you want, once again, with time, if you want to.
Look at him.
And fit it in your schedule.
Still making an excuse because I don't want to drive 40 minutes out. Back and forth. That's an hour and 80 minutes, hour and a half. It's an hour and a half drive.
Does the drive outweigh the progression? Do you want
the progression outweigh the drive? Yes.
The
progression outweighs the drive.
Seeing
some friends, hanging with some friends, doing some stuff with some friends.
Right.
That outweighs the hour and a half.
Right. So every little bit counts, right?
Hours getting smacked by a deer to go chill.
No. Especially when you're driving out from where we from, driving from the city back to the country, which I love the country, man.
Hours getting smacked by a deer to go hang, so I ain't mad at it.
Now, don't even say that, bro.
Yep. Oh, because it ain't happening. I'm getting home. I'm getting there safe, and
you're gonna get there safe. You're gonna ask the Lord to guide your will, like I do every time.
Yep.
And you're gonna make it there, and you're gonna come back straight. So that's what it's all about.
So speaking on time.
All right, bet. So what I basically kind of figured out was tips for time management, and these are things that I am going to incorporate in myself because I somewhat come from a line of procrastinators. I know some people don't want to hear that. But it's the truth. And we have to learn to break that into doing what we want to do, into getting not only things done, but progressing in the sense of for not only other people, but to show that if that person can do it, you can do it. And that's basically what we want to try to break is procrastination and also the so-called thing in the myth called colored people time. I know some people might not want to hear that, but it's the truth. We set things up where we think we can fit them in our own schedule, and we're going to get there when we get there, when I get there, how I get there. And those are things that we want to try to dismantle to be not only better people and better citizens of society, but better people in growth.
And then they tell you you're going to like it too, how I decide to do it.
Because you have to understand and think about it. Once you hear that, once they say, oh, well, at least they're here. When I was in the military, they told me you early 15 to 30 minutes prior. And sometimes I think sticks with me in certain things that I do. And at the same time, I fall back on it a little bit. And I know I need to get back into that repetition of doing the same thing, of getting to certain situations when I need to be. But it also depends on what you're doing and who you're going to see. And people don't want to hear that. You take your time out for when you choose to get there. Because honestly, I like being a little bit late because I like the awe factor sometimes. I like the, oh, they made it. You know, because I'm the kind of person that's like, oh, he showed up. Wasn't expecting him to show up. Because yes, I have things on my plate. I have things that I do. I'm quite sure you're the same way.
Listen, there's not enough time in the day, man.
It's not. And you
it's
know,
really not.
And
but I guess because whatever you about to say, I probably need some. I need some of this too. Time management.
We do.
Because I wake up, especially on Saturdays, because we both work throughout the week. So trying to do this type of stuff on a Saturday when it's your off day, but you're really not off, and then you know you trying to get your hair cut, you set up the podcast, do the podcast, get to the podcast, and there's so much other things in between: eating, sleeping, showering, making sure your family is situated before you go do what you got to do, making sure my stuff is situated before doing what I got to do. It's just
there's a lot that comes with it, and as time starts to progress, these are the things that you want to take care of because you don't want to continue the stigma of procrastinating, in other words, and not being able to do things at a specific time and making excuses for it because you're just like, whatever, I'll get there when I get there. I'm going to do what I got to do, and maybe I'm thinking the other person is doing something else, so I'm going to do A, B, or C until I know that other person is available. And when we get to the fact of when you take these kind of steps into the format, basically, not only does it help you and build you, the person that, especially if you're working with another person or whatever, it lets them know that not only are you in your A game, that you're focused, you're ready to take care of the situation, and they know that if something happens, they can depend on you to maybe set up something that you guys have together. So it basically boils down to not only piggybacking off each other, but also knowing that you're able to get it done when you say you're going to get it done. Instead of saying, yo, I'll be there at 4:30, and you be like, all right, and you be like, maybe, oh man, they're not there at 4:30. It's, oh, that person is there prior, they're ready to rock. If I'm not there, they can set things up for me. And it's not even just a work aspect. It's just in an everyday life thing. You know, yo, we need to go on a trip. Oh, we need to go to a family function. Things of that nature. And you're there early. And once again, it boils down to, am I going to be there when I'm going to be there? Am I going to show up later? Or am I going to wait, so to speak?
So I got time defined as how can I say this? Because I really don't agree with the time definition, to be perfectly honest. So, okay.
What is the basic definition that you have for time?
The indefinite continued progress of existence and events in the past, present, and future regarded as a whole. Which I can agree to that. The one I was looking at was a point of time is measured in hours and minutes past midnight or noon, which is technically true. But I definitely believe in an indefinite continued progress, like time,
Right.
progression. As long as you're progressing, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like with time, like, we waited too long to do the podcast. If we would have just did it the time that we decided to say, yo, we want to do the podcast, do it, and then from that time on, from this point, the progression of getting better versus us perfecting it in our minds would have existed in present time.
Okay.
Versus future time where we were thinking of things to do in the future versus just doing it now, banging it out in the present. In the near future, everything will get better with progression.
Right. I understand. I understand that concept, and it makes sense. But even though they gave us a definition of what time means, we know that we'll see what time means, and then we'll make up our own definition of what time means. As
Correct.
long as I'm doing something at a certain time,
Right.
or as long as I'm moving at that time. So there are certain things that we all give our own interpretation of what we think it actually means.
Yeah.
So it kind of I can understand that, and those are things that we have to learn and for ourselves, kind of like do it so we can keep it in us and instill in us that, you know, this is the foundation that we want to make for ourselves and continue to keep going and continue to grow, you know. So certain things that I feel, honestly, that I kind of broke down and created was like tips that we can create for our own time management. Things such as figuring out how you're figuring out the time that you're actually using, and what are you doing with that time to make you a better person and create the foundation of who you are, you know. And then you also have creating a daily schedule. But not only do you create a daily schedule, you stick with it. And when you can create a schedule and you know that you have that schedule, knowing that it is basically something that you created, kind of like adds more for more of an emphasis with it. Like, oh shoot, I got this. Like if you like, when you want to be on a workout schedule and you got that little mug that got the hours of how much water you need to drink or whatever, and you
Got one of those.
and you busy and you moving, but you see that little cup and you be like, oh shoot, I missed 15 minutes, and you start drinking things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? And prioritizing wisely. And we know sometimes that doesn't go with the way that we want it to go, because we all know things happen.
Yeah. We know that so well right now.
You know,
going through the motions.
You know, and things happen, so you try to set up, what you can. But once you set those up, try to continue the path of continuing what you had, so you know that, hey, I wrote this down. I want to get it taken care of. I solidified it from that pen to that pad. Let me continue to go with it. So even though we prioritize a certain way, and everything doesn't go in that faction, we try to keep up with the essence of it going or whatever. And also group similar tasks together. If you got one thing going on and you got another thing going on, if you can find a way to let them like kind of mesh into one another, where you're able to kind of like double task and get them together and continue to move in that essence, because we all know if you got to do this on one side of town and you got to do this on another side of town, it's not always going to go the way to plan at all. But
know that one today so well. Very, very well.
So, you can, once again, you can group these things together, and it's not going to go the way you want to. But once you kind of like have the, I keep saying the word foundation because the word foundation means so much because it's a start. You know what I'm saying? So if you can at least try to get them all to mesh together in that same format, man, I didn't get it done today, but I know that I have it down to where I know I have to take care of it the next day or later on or whatever. I'm going to get it done because I know, because I wrote it down, that I have to take care of it. Where I'm basically down on myself. And what we have to learn within each other is you are your first motivation. You have to take care of yourself first before you can take care of others.
Yeah, I never lie.
So once you understand that aspect of it and you take care of things like that, hopefully the ball will start to get to rolling and you'll be able to create what you've written down for your own self motivation and your self-worth to make you basically perceive the best you that you can be. And that's basically what it's about in my thought process, basically. Also, you have to try as much as you can to avoid to multitask. Well, am I hitting a nerve or something, fam?
Listen, in the back of my head, I'm just sitting here honestly thinking, I'm like, that's me.
I think that's a lot of
The
us.
stuff that you're talking about now, these are things that I do also have to work on.
And I also have to work
And these
on
are
myself.
things that I have
We
to-
all have to work on these things.
Yeah.
Once again, we can implement these things as much as we want to. It's just about the starting process. Because you can write it down all day. I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do that. You could just have a post-it note with all these things on it and don't implement none of them. So it's about you understanding what you need to take care of for you to implement those into going on into creating what you need to create.
And speaking on that with the avoiding to multitask, because we spoke on that earlier. I don't know if they caught it or not. I don't know if it got caught or not. If that's something that you're not capable of doing, do not do it.
And don't force yourself to do it if it's not you.
Don't force it, because if it's not you, it's not you. So it's one of them things, you're already forcing something that's not you.
You're forcing something foreign onto something that you're not capable of doing.
And then when that don't even go as planned, you beating yourself up like,
man,
crazy.
I should have finished it. I should have did this.
Yeah, but your skill is not in multitasking though.
That's not what you do. You're able to go down that one path and take care of the situations that you have to take care of. And if anything else comes from that and you're able to do it, then that's another story. But if you know you are a one-track mind person.
And the thing too, because I'm a multitasker, but there's levels to multitasking.
You limit yourself to what you know that you can do and what you can't do.
If you can't do a certain thing, don't do it. Just don't do it. Don't add it. Don't, like, earlier I honestly felt like I was gonna be able to do what I did earlier, do this, and then go back to, actually no, that's a lie. My first initial was correct. Do what I had to do earlier, come back here, do this, and then the rest of the night was gonna be coast.
Right.
When I got to doing the first thing I said I was gonna do, I did it. I put this thing in my head, oh, I can do this, do what I said I was gonna do after this. After I said I was gonna do that after, I can come back to doing this.
Right.
I added something to that task that I should have stuck with initially.
Right.
Because it did not work until I thought I can swindle something in.
We always
in
put
between.
more. We always put more on ourselves than we can handle, and then when it doesn't come out the way we want to, we beat ourselves up.
And now we hours in today, way past the time that I thought we was going to be doing it. And it's like, see, there you go.
But check it out though. With that also being said, and whatever hiccups we may have had, we had hiccups, but we had learning experiences. And that's the positivity that just came out of that. We might have failed in one area, but we gained in knowledge in another area of learning from that hiccup.
100%.
So that's
100%.
that's the best part about that. Even when you set yourself up to do certain things, like I said it before, some of my baddest decisions made great stories. And it's not to say that what I did was bad, but it makes a good story to help and motivate others to either not do the situation or learn from that.
I can see that.
And it's very truthful coming from me personally. You know what I'm saying? Some of my worst decisions made great stories. The story might have sounded great, but the consequences from that story that I had to face, I'm hoping you're hearing that part of the story and not just the good part of it. Yeah. And so that's the learning experience that we basically just had recently and currently right now. And speaking in this thing of time management, we might have lost time, but we gained knowledge in that as well. We gained a learning experience from it as well. You know what I'm saying? So, and also the last one, sometimes you have to learn to say no. Not everyone deserves a yes. And sometimes your no could be your yes. And in the essence of saying that is you might want to do certain things for certain people because you want to feel like it's the right thing. And you know you have certain things going on and sometimes you sacrifice yourself for that. But sometimes you have to say no to sacrifice your own peace and getting what you need to take care of.
Like if they call me back, I don't know. If my friends call me today, yo, is you coming back? I might have to say no.
But in the essence of you saying no is because if you told them that you were doing this, that, and the third, and you basically gave that answer to them, and they asked you to come back out there, if they can't respect that, well, he was doing something else, so he's not able to come back out here, you have to respect that. You can't get mad at me because we have other obligations.
I'm hungry. I'm starving.
So basically,
I'm not driving all the way out there to eat. That ain't happening. I said that. I tried to convince myself that earlier. I'm not driving that far to go out there to eat. I'm tired.
So they have to respect that. Am I correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey man, I can't make it, man. I was doing this, that, and the third, and I'm in for the night. All right, man. Cool, bet, man. I know. Now I told you that, you know that. But then you turn around and be like, man, he didn't bring his ass out here, man. Now, if you go on that path and that level, then it's like, yo, you need to stand by.
Yo, speaking of time.
Hyperbolic time chamber, like in Dragon Ball Z, Goku and fighting Gohan, helping him be the best he can be for him to grow.
Yo, you know what I thought about earlier today, speaking on time?
What's that?
When are we going to decide to go... we're not at that point yet. Never mind. Live. I was thinking about when we was going to go live with this. But we're not at that point yet.
Somebody asked me that question. And they said, when are you guys going to go live so I can watch? And I said, we're still in the beginning process of it. And then I had certain people contact me that are pretty well off. And they wanted to come on our podcast. And they want to interject on certain things. But they said they don't feel comfortable on camera. That's what I wanted to actually talk to you about as well. And also that, you know...
We could do audio.
that. And that's what I wanted to say. I want there to be a video version because to be honest with you, with me, hold on, I don't mean to break you down real quick. I would love to do an audio because it gives me the nostalgia version of a radio broadcast and I love old radio. So I like that aspect of the emotion that comes with the radio like they used to do when you used to hear the old programs on the radio like The Shadow and, you know, random tape cassettes on the AM stations that you
Yeah.
find, you know, of certain, like, I guess we would call them podcasts now, but those old random AM radio broadcasts that you would press the record button and tape, and it has that old crackling sound, that nostalgia. So I want that as well.
I was gonna do audio. I was gonna do audio the last time, and yeah, but then we didn't have a schedule. We weren't
Right.
thinking about a schedule, and then we decided to schedule,
Right.
and then
I'm sorry about that. I didn't call you about that yesterday after I got that phone call. Actually,
no,
should've called
I
you to
mean
let
it
you know.
It can start today. It can start now. Cause I honestly, that was another thing that I did not converse with you that I had in my mental. Cause every day I'm like, oh, what was that? But that's where time management, writing stuff down as
Right.
you go about it and think about it. And that was one of the things I did think about was doing audio and video. But then I also went and said, oh, what about live? But then that's where I thought about the audio. It made me think about live, think about going audio.
So that'll be more down the line once we at least get somewhat.
Yes, yes. And
Formatted.
then we could still do audio.
Absolutely.
And if we do have a guest that's not comfortable with the video perspective of it, unfortunately, well, no, fortunately, there's audio. You can do audio.
Right.
And then their segment, it don't have to be like that whole video could be audio, but then if we still decide to do a video segment of it, that video segment will probably be not included in the video.
Okay.
We'll probably just cut that out or even block that person out, put our logo up or something like
Right.
that. We'll figure that
Or
out.
to just be just a full audio.
Yeah, we'll figure that out, and then move on from that point.
All right.
But time, man, time. We gonna have to figure this out, man. Even more as we getting progressing through this. The time management, everything is gonna work out, and it's been working out in our favor. We had a hiccup, we fixed that. We ain't let it kill us, and it is what it is.
It is what it is, but it's a learning experience,
Yep, and we learning.
and you may not like it, but
Episode 2, I'm happy it's not going to be episode 2.A, 2A, 2B. I'm happy about that. We made that one manage and not have
Right.
to come in reality. We already did the 1A, 1B. My God, I ain't need another episode.
But once again, it was a learning experience, and just like we learn now, and we're continuing to grow within ourselves and learning how to do this,
Yo,
it's going to be a learning experience.
episode 2 would have been episode 3. 3 weeks straight. Yo, this is actually pretty. I'm feeling a lot better about this. I mean, I already was feeling great about it, but I'm feeling more and more as the weeks progress, and we're progressing, and we're changing, and we're talking about planning and what to do next week, how to do this next week. Yo, this is what we came about this week and last week. Yo, maybe we should do this week and next week. I enjoy this progression, yo, with you.
No, I appreciate that.
I'm not even going front. Like, I enjoy.
If it wasn't for
these
you, man, I
moments.
would just probably still be thinking about trying to do this, or trying to
figure out
find
how
a way,
do it.
or figure out how to do it. And
We found a way. And even with the way, because I feel like there would have been still hiccups with other stuff, like camera batteries, not having backup batteries for your camera, not charging your camera, stuff like that. Your phone, dude, you like the stuff that we using, like your phones right now.
Mm-hmm.
Your phones can charge in a matter of 30 minutes.
yeah,
Where your camera battery probably take 5 hours to actually charge
give or
fully.
take, you know.
You know what I mean? So just the thought about a lot of that stuff right there, I'm honestly blessed with the option and the opportunity that we have presented with us. And I'm happy the mindset that we both have and just the thought process of thinking how we're starting this right now, and it's turning out pretty
Push.
good.
It's called push.
It's turning out pretty well. I enjoy it.
Push until something happens. Pray
So,
until something happens.
I gotta get out of here. I know you gotta get out of here. Episode 2 is in the works. And the raps
In the raps.
done,
Done.
finished. See you guys next week, man.